Hey guys, how's it going? So Apple released some earnings. I was waiting for Jeremy to release this video, and I also waiting till after the markets were closed so I can get a better judgment of the whole situation. And I've been doing a lot of research. So of course, Jeremy's gonna be very positive about his stock. He's not gonna come out and bash his own stock because, well, and on top of that, he does make a good point. He does bring out the positive points in Apple. And I did more research, and I want to get into it, and I want to tell you exactly why I think Apple stock tanked. And well, first of all, we're in a bear market, so I mean, Apple's numbers was not enough to push us out of the bear market. So we're still in the bear market, and possibly still coming into a market crash. So just be aware that we could have a market crash. So be careful about trading. That's all I have to tell you about the Apple. Since Apple is the #1 company in the world and Apple is declining in share price, it's very, very scary because, if the stock market crash, the one stock that will get affected, has to get affected, is Apple. Else it wouldn't make any sense for the entire market to go down. Apple stock stays the same. It would not make sense. Everybody holds Apple stock. Like, a lot of people hold Apple stock because, Apple is the #1 company in the world. So, yeah. And, I wanted to see what he says. Of course, he's going to be positive. He says that the only problem was the iPhone sales was kind of weak, and the guidance for the iPhone sales is kind of weak. So, yeah, I listened to this boring-ass conference call. Yeah, it's a boring conference call. You can just search it up on the Apple investor earnings call on the Apple's web page. It wasn't nothing very interesting, but if you're an Apple investor or you're an investor in general and you want to listen to a boring ass conference call, go ahead. Listen to it. I literally almost fell asleep because I was just so bored. I had no emotional attachment to this company, so it was so hard for me to watch this. I would not watch it twice, but I did watch it once, see what I can catch, but my mind was half off in the distance somewhere, so I couldn't catch it all, but I did in-depth research into the company, so I'm going to get into it. So, tomorrow, Apple stock is no longer going to be $1 trillion. It's going to be less than $1 trillion. Let me just do some calculations for you. So right now, Apple has 4.829 billion shares, or almost 5 billion shares. 4829926,000. And then if you take Apple's stock price after hours, it's times 207.81. Okay, they're slightly over $1 trillion, but I'm assuming tomorrow is gonna dip below $1 trillion and it's gonna go back to the bearish mode. I think tomorrow the stock price is gonna go below $1 trillion. At least this is just my opinion. That means that $7.3 billion just got wiped off of Apple stock, which is not very much. I mean, things happen. So why did Apple stock drop? Well, it's simple. This is number one reason why Apple says that they will no longer announce any unit hardware sales. So they won't be announcing any iPad sales, any iPhone sales going forward after this quarter. The lack of transparency did not go too well with investors. So, that caused the sell-off. I mean, they're an iPhone store. It's like saying Aurora is no longer going to announce how much weed they produce. We don't want to announce how much weed we produce. Like, come on. The main business is iPhones, iPads, computers, and then I guess there's service fee thingy. There's service like the App Store. So, I mean, if they're not going to announce iPhone sales and iPad sales, that's just really bad in my opinion. Steve Jobs would never allow this. So I don't know. I don't like the fact that, Apple will no longer be announcing iPhone sales. It shows weakness in the company. And then the second part, I came across is, you know, Apple seeing slowdown in some emerging market. Cook blames currency issues that require Apple to raise prices in some countries. Turkey, India, Brazil, Russia were the markets he cited. So that was another one. And then Apple says that, you know, China, Tim Cook specifically was in the announcement because said that China was, you know, really good this year. It rose 16% year over year. But on the surface, the growth rate is slowed by 19% because of the new iPhones selling at a higher price point, giving, you know, Apple slightly more revenue. That's why the growth grew 16%, but yet the growth rate per user decreased by 19%, or the amount of iPhones sold, I guess. Yeah, because, you know, a lot of Chinese consumers are pausing on Apple's pricey new iPhones. I mean, there's definitely rich people in China, but the poor people are like, or the middle class is like, I don't know, do I really want an iPhone, or can I get this cheaper version? So it's like, yeah, rich people will probably buy iPhones no matter what. They'll pay Apple anything for the iPhone, but, you know, middle class people are probably on the fence about it. And on top of that, you know, Apple is avoiding to have some device swept in Trump's administration most recent round of tariffs of 10% on 200 billion Chinese imports. Still, those tariffs are set to rise to 25% early next year. The President Donald Trump has said tariffs eventually will expand all Chinese imports, which would include iPhones, smartwatches, and other gadgets, such as moves that will increase dangers to the Chinese retaliate by punishing Apple's business in China, trade expert says. So I just pulled this article off of the internet. I went all over the internet to look for, you know, reasons why the stock price dropped. I watched a lot of videos. I done a lot of research because Apple affects us all. If Apple goes down, the entire market goes down. So it's important to research on this, and I'm bringing it all to you guys because, you know, I don't have anything better to do but make videos, YouTube videos. Anyways, I'd probably be bored as I'd probably just be watching Netflix and anime and shit like that. So you know, because I'd rather make YouTube video and money. I'm not doing that. I'm just making videos. I'm doing my research. Plus, you know, I need to know this shit because Apple was the shining hope of getting us out of the bear market, and right now we're back in the bear market. Like, Apple, I think is gonna decline under $200. I'm not 100% positive on this, but that's the trend I see going forward. I see that Apple stock will probably go back to this level right here. This is just my opinion. We'll see what happens though, because we're in a bear market, and possibly I think the stock could go even lower. In my opinion, I say worst case scenario, the stock declines back to $100. At $100, I mean, I would definitely be a buyer at $100. Definitely. I mean, I don't think Jeremy will ever say that. He never will say, I think, you know, market crash could happen, Apple's gonna go to $100. He's never gonna say that. He's never gonna promote that. He is his biggest position. If Apple went to $100, he'd probably come out and say, "Oh, Apple's on sale! Everybody buy Apple!" You know, like, because Apple is on sale at $100. Like, seriously. Like, I mean, it was $100 like a year ago. Can it go back to $100? I think it could. If we're in a market crash, we will see Apple stock go back to $100. Just my opinion. Warren Buffett will probably be buying like crazy. A lot of people will be like, it might not hit $100 actually, but who knows? There might be enough panic selling that will cause the stock to hit $100 if we actually enter into a stock market crash. Just saying. I mean, it was $100 not too long ago, like literally like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, like 2 years ago, it was $100. So could it hit $100 again? Absolutely, I think so. So, you know, Apple's gone up quite dramatically. I think it's, you know, it's just about time for it to pull back a little bit, my opinion, because we are in a bear market, and you know, stocks don't go up forever. That's the rule. And Apple's literally been going up forever in the past 5 years. It's about time to have a correction, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. I mean, we're in a bear market, and it just tanked 6.48%. So after hours, I think there's gonna be more dramatic tomorrow. Just my opinion. So, you know, Canopy came out with some great news. You know, they closed the $5 billion transaction with Constellation brand, and yet their stock is declining. Why? Because Apple stock is declining. If Apple stock declines, Canopy growth will decline. It was actually trading in the positive for a while on the after hours, but because, you know, Canopy's down, because Apple was down, it kind of pulled Canopy down with it. So I said we're going to be entering a bear market. I'm happy I sold off my position on Canopy. Gives me another buying opportunity when the stock goes back down to $40, because I think that's where the stock price is heading. I think the stock price is heading down to $40, even with the $5 billion Constellation brand deal. That's my short-term mindset anyways. Long-term, this stock's going to $100. Short-term, I think the stock is going to be hitting 40. Like for US side, I guess it would be like back to like the $30 level, I guess, like $30 level. Just my opinion though, so we'll see what happens. I don't think it's gonna drop back down to like, I don't think it'll drop back to the $20 level. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think that'll happen. I think at this level, it won't. If it hits this level, it won't last very long. People will come in and start buying because it's at a huge discount. Just my opinion. Or, you know, of course, Aurora is gonna get affected, because why not? You know, Canopy is getting affected. Why? If Canopy is getting affected, Aurora is gonna get affected. Also, Tilray and everything. Tomorrow's just gonna be an ugly red day. I'm almost positive about it. Like, look, Tilray down 3%. Tilray is gonna go down even more. Gives me a buying opportunity for another swing trade. I still don't think. Even if Apple declines, I don't think the stock market will crash right away. I think it'll take some time. I'm just gonna be careful about my trades. I'm definitely gonna, you know, use this volatility to try to make some money off the markets. That's my plan moving forward anyways. So, you know, some little positive news about Aurora. You know, Cam Batley had a conference call in Australia, for, you know, with their partner Can Group. I wish there was a video. Like, I would be so happy if there was a video, but there's no video. But, you know, I'm bringing this up because I want to bring out the fact that Can Group is the first, like, I think Can Group is the biggest medical cannabis company in Australia, and Can Group has stated that they want Aurora to take them out. Like, they want Aurora to take them over, and if Australia goes recreational, Aurora could take over Can Group and then have a foothold in the Australia market, Canada market, Uruguay market. They'll have a bunch of recreational markets that they have a foothold in. It's all part of their global master plan, and you know, long term, I'm still bullish on Aurora. Aurora could easily just borrow more money from the banks. I think banks would easily lend them money if they needed to, or they can raise capital through their stock, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just use the capital from the stock to acquire companies, and they'll use the bank to get cash. At least this is what I think is going to happen moving forward. We'll see, because, you know, they're no longer going to be partnering up with Coke or Diageo, or you never know. You never know. Some news might come out couple weeks, couple months down the road, say, oh, Diageo or Coke decided to partner up with us because they saw how good of business we have. Maybe anything's possible. Another thing I want to point out, like I want to show you guys that, you know, my revenue has gone down 40%. It was over 2,000 US dollars, like almost 3,000 US dollars. You know, business is hard. You know, I would love to see a $2,000 ramp, but you know, my views have been going down, even though my subscriber base is going up. If I can have, you know, continuous revenue up, or if I have money, if I have revenue coming in at the same as Jeremy, oh my God, my goal of, you know, flipping $5 million in my trading account would be totally possible. But right now I have to rely on skill more than, you know, revenue from my stock market membership group and my YouTube. So we'll see what happens. I'm never gonna stop trying. I'm always gonna keep trying to try to get my corporation to that $5 million mark. And then once after that happens, maybe I'll think more serious about taking the company public. So, and my my members will be the first one to get the first round of seeding, so you guys can get it in a dirt cheap price. That's just my plan moving forward for my company. I don't know if it'll work out in the future, but that's my plan. So let's end it off some Tesla. So I saw some really cool Tesla tweets from Elon Musk. Of course, Tesla has a little decline. I'm still bullish on it. Even if we have a market crash, I still think the stock's going to $400. I mean, if it does go to $250, I would be a big buyer, really big buy if it went back to $250. It's just so hard to be bearish on Tesla. I think, you know, even if the market crash, I don't think, like, at the end of the day, Elon Musk holds 20% of the stock. And the Tesla cult followers are not gonna just sell off the stock because they're a cult, right? They follow Elon Musk to the grave. So, and then there's a lot of institutional investors that are very bullish. So if the stock market crash, they're probably just gonna leave the stock as it is and just sell off the other positions. That's what I'm doing. I'm never selling Tesla. I'm only gonna add more to Tesla. So I don't care if the stock goes to $250 and I just lost all my profit. I honestly don't care. I do believe in Tesla in the long road. So that's just my thoughts. But let's get on to some cool news. So the cool news is Elon Musk announced that Tesla Auto Park summoning slightly smarter version, hopefully ready soon by next year. Tesla should be able to drive around the parking lot. A Tesla should be able to drive around the parking lot, find empty slots, read signs to confirm it's a valid park. So that's pretty cool. The fact that you can have your car drive to auto park for you and you don't have to park yourself. That's pretty cool. And then, you know, let's say if you wanted to get your car to drive to you, you can just use your phone and summon your car to you. That's awesome if you know if that's the case. The 6 summon ready in 6 weeks, just over air software upgrades. So working on our cars in the past 2 years. You can also, you know, get your car to follow you as a pet. That's pretty cool too. Also able to drive from your phone remotely, like a big RC. Like, so you could turn your car, your Tesla car, into a remote controller car. That's pretty cool, I have to say. So I just want to bring up that cool tweet that Elon Musk tweeted, I guess early in the morning, and that's the reason why Tesla stock rose a little bit today. Maybe, I don't know, could be. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. Please give me a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.